Whether we are talking about the schoology, about the Unit 5, CP5, okay? And then first of all, this question, which is referring to the, which of the, well, it's hard to see. Which of the following measures are this Southern California to tackle the climate constraint? If it's talking about the tackle, then it's going to solve this problem. Then it should be one irrigation and also dry farming. Okay, but for number 3, okay, not because it's specified for the climatic constraint. Okay, climatic constraint. So crop rotation is not really going to deal with the climatic constraint. Instead, it's just dealing with the constraint in the soil. Okay, so climate constraint, then if we are going to talk about this, then I think it should be the irrigation and also dry farming. Okay, dry farming. Okay, this is going to be tackled. And then, yeah, you can see crop rotation just going to deal with the soil fertility. So it's not the case. Okay, and then number 2, you can see this kind of thing. And then what is the farming method right here, characteristic of farming right here. Okay, number 1 and number 3, I think you can find it, but number 2, you are a bit hesitate to rather thinking about it, this is right or wrong. Okay, if we are talking about a large land, okay, you know it's 1 and 3 lah, okay, right now. And then, yeah, the answer should be 1 and 3 lah. And if we are talking about the farming in a large scale, the farmland is in a large scale, then it should be the extensive farming. But if we are talking about very small farmland, then it should be intensive farming. Some of you also make it wrong in the post-mod exam, so you're gonna be careful about this. Okay, number 1 and number 3 only. Okay, number 3 lah. Okay, number 3 is not intensive lah, extensive lah. What are the consequences of the excessive use of insecticides? Soil contamination, true. Okay, because the insecticide is poisonous in nature. Okay, and then also river eutrophication is not right, because eutrophication is always about the fertilizer instead of the insecticides. Okay, and number 3, talking about the pest problem. Okay, maybe the pest is going to be, you can see page number 1 and 3 lah. Okay, and it's also about the having more resistance once we apply too much insecticides. Okay, once they are having resistance, so no matter how much we are going to put the insecticides, it's no use. Okay, so number 3 is also severe pest problem is also the case. Okay, number 1 and number 3. Okay, which of the following method can help to reduce the soil erosion? Okay, and multiple cropping, is it right? All of them are correct, because multiple cropping is going to have a larger cover to the soil. Okay, larger cover, while compared with the monoculture, multi-cropping can provide a more comprehensive cover than the monoculture. So different crops can leave different nutrients, and soil nutrient will not depleted completely. So the soil erosion will be reduced. And then number 2, which is talking about the drip irrigation, isn't it? Yeah, drip irrigation. Then drip irrigation control the amount of water irrigated to the farmland. Then fewer water will be washed into the farmland. Then it can also reduce the soil erosion. Number 3, mulching, which is talking about covering the soil with something, maybe the plastic frames, maybe the crop residue. And then, so number 3 is also going to check the soil erosion. So number 1 and number 2 and number 3 are both correct. Okay, and then this one, what is the farming method shown in the photograph? Okay, hydroponics low, because hydroponics low soil at all. Okay, we just put the plant in the water. Okay, intercropping, isn't it? Yeah, some of you may trying to mix up the B and C. Okay, C have to have the plants along with the animal. Okay, so you cannot see any kinds of animal right here. So it should be only option. It should be the intercropping. Okay, yeah. B, intercropping. Okay, next. And then this one, wow, many people make it right. Okay, which of the following are the advantage of the crop rotation? Definitely conserving the soil fertility. Okay, no, no need to check the answer. Okay, if you insist, I check it. A, okay, don't waste the time. Okay, and then number 7, you can see right here, you can find out the following, which of the following statement are correct. Okay, you can see food shortage is more serious in the Southeast Asia. You cannot find a lot in Southeast Asia in there. Okay, and then food shortage is present in the less developed countries too, because maybe Mongolia and Bangladesh also included. Okay, and then some of the Pakistan or India, and also some of the Sahara country will also having a lot of food shortage problem. And also, is it in the tropic? Also, yes. Okay, number 2 and 3, number 2 and 3, number 2 and 3. Okay, next, and then number 8, the 201. 201 218, 75% get it right. Okay, and how do nomadic header in the Sahel region adapt, be careful, adapt, okay, to the climate environment? You can compare with this question. Okay, this question talking about tackle, and this question talking about adapt. Okay, where's it? Okay, this question talking about adapt. Okay, tackle, it means totally kill it. Okay, adapt is trying to suit the problem, which is talking about. So there are some differences. Okay, so the answer should be number 1 and number 2. Okay, which is adopting the transhumans. Okay, because it can search for the water and the pressure accordingly during the for the by season. Okay, controlling the number of herds, which is also suit with the environment instead of the killing the environment to make them grow. Okay, so number 1 and 2 only. Okay, for the entire sedentary farming is not going to kill change the environment, because we are just going to suit the environment. Adopt. Okay, adapt. Okay. Next. Sorry, there's an annoying student always asking me question. Okay, when I'm taking the films. Okay, when I'm taking this. Okay, but luckily he got 5-star in the Zhouyang exam, so that I let him go. Okay, it's very annoying. Always having a lot of message. Okay, farmer in the Southern California can improve their farm productivity by drip irrigation, organic farming, and also pest control. Which one is correct? Drip irrigation, right? Okay, organic farming. Think about it. Pest control. Because it's talking about farm productivity, I don't think the organic farming really can help a lot. Okay, because you can see organic farming do not use chemical fertilizer. You're only using natural method. Okay, although you may argue that the productivity can be ensure for long term, but it haven't specified in the question. Then maybe if the question really talking about long term, then you can pick it. But right now, sorry, we really haven't specified this is a long term. Then maybe you have to assume with it. Okay. Number 10. Which of the following are the major way to alleviate the shortage of irrigation water in the Southern California? Okay, and storage of water in reservoir. True or false? True, maybe. Okay, transfer of water by the irrigation channel, and also desalination of seawater. I don't think this one is a correct answer, because it's very, very expensive if we are going to desalinize the seawater. Okay, then number 1 and 2 only, and then number 11. Which of the following pairs of the comparison between intensive farming and extensive farming are correct? Okay, intensive farming, higher for the physical input. This is wrong. Okay, intensive farming only having a higher human input only. Okay, what is human input? What is physical input? Human input like this. Okay, we are going to input a lot, okay, and then trying to change the landscape. How about physical input, which is talking about the sun, which is talking about the rainfall, which is talking about the soil fertility, which is talking about the soil nutrient. So all the way, it is relatively fewer for the intensive farming, but for the extensive farming, it should be higher because as I always said, extensive farming is ham, okay, it's lazy. So the human is lazy. So who is going to take care of the farmland? Mainly the nature, okay, the mother nature will going to take care of farmland. So the physical input of the extensive farming, it should be higher. And instead, for the intensive farming, it should be having lower input for lower physical input. Okay, and so number one is wrong. So accordingly, it should be 2 and 3. But let's check out the last one. Output of the of per hectare of land is also true because intensive farming, we are going to have a lot of input. Meanwhile, the extensive farming, we are having a lot of very low input. Okay, so the answer should be 2 and 3. Okay, I'm not going to press it. I'm confident I'm right. Okay, and then number 12, which of the following description about agricultural activity shown in above photograph are correct? Labor intensive, don't think so because if it is labor intensive, a lot of people working here, just like the wet rice field, but it's not like this. High energy input, true because we are using a lot of machinery to facilitate this. Okay, and then monoculture, we are just going to plant one kind of crops. Also, you can see all the crops right here is more or less similar. So number 2 and 3, isn't it? Okay, number 2 and 3, I'm a professional. Okay, and then number 30, okay, which of the following are the reason of the frequent famine occurring in some African country? Weak in tackling the natural hazards, true. And then number 2, massive use of chemical fertilizer. Is it the case? I don't think so because they even don't have the very good money to buy the chemical fertilizers. And then rapid urban growth also not that case because African country, most of them are very unurbanized, uncivilized. Okay, so number 2 and 3 is not correct. Number 1 only. Okay, and then number 14. Okay, which of the following cause famine in the less developed countries? Rapid population growth, you said, true. And then inadequate capacity, compatibility to tackle the hazards. Okay, it's more or less similar like this. Okay, isn't it? Okay, production existing the carrying capacity. Is it all the thing right? Yes, it's all the thing right. Okay, yeah, because somehow rapid population refers to production existing the carrying capacity. This planting method can achieve sustainable farming because it can. I don't think it can save the labor input because we need extra care. When monoculture, we can do a lot of specialized work so that the labor input can be reduced. But number 1 for here, because we are not monoculture, then we cannot say this. Okay, number 1 is not correct. Maintain soil fertility, just like multi-cropping. True. Reduce the use of insecticides, also true because we are not going to put all the eggs in one basket. Okay, so we are not going to imply the insecticides that frequently. Okay, so number 2 and 3 only. Okay, it should be right. Yeah, number 2 and 3 only. Okay, so that is the end of the CP5. Okay, see you in CP6.